Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since I've touched base on this Lights for the Grill Series 1. It's been put off mainly due to COVID and work and moving where I live. So now I've got a bit of time over the summer. I'm going to have a go at starting the engine just to see where it's at mechanically before I start pulling everything apart. Now, even though the engine's not the original engine that should have been in there, it's a 1953 2 litre, but I'm not too worried about that. Like, if I can get an original one, sure, but if not, this will be fine. It hasn't ran for about 30 years, if not more. So what I've done so far is I've checked the starter motor and it won't engage. I don't know if it's not throwing out or it's something else. Because of that, I'm just going to crank it over by hand, which shouldn't matter on this engine. It should be fairly easy to do if it's going to start. Now, I know that the fuel pump's working. I've taken each spark plug out, cleaned them, inspected them, they look good. And I've checked the coil, and with the help of my dad, because I'm not very familiar with the coil and distributor, we fixed that because the contacts were staying together closed and they weren't opening enough. So that's been fixed. And now what I do need to do before even trying to start it is I noticed that there is a oil pipe that goes into the bypass filter that has a crack on it. So I need to try and see if I can find another one, if not make one, before I can even start trying to start the engine. So this is the bypass filter. I'll put a bit of light because it's night time. And it's this oil pipe here which has a crack at the other end. So I'm going to have to try and undo that and see if I've got another replacement. Otherwise, as I said, I'll have to try and make one up. Now, I don't mind if it's leaking a little bit of oil, but I've already tried just cranking it over slowly, and yeah, there's a fair bit of oil coming out there, and I can feel there's quite a substantial crack down the bottom. So that's down here underneath the starter motor. So it's going to be a bit of a pain to get to. So there we go. I've taken the old oil pipe out. Had quite a split in it, and I've just used the fittings on a bit of copper pipe that I had. I obviously haven't bent it to shape properly. I'm going to just order the proper parts when it comes time, so it's all bent properly around the starter motor. So I've just done a real rough bend, saved cutting it, and that way I could use this again for something else. I've taken the starter motor out, just made it a lot easier to access it, and the starter motor wasn't engaging properly anyway. To flare the ends, just use one of these. First time I've used one, it was pretty easy. I'm at the stage now where I'm ready to try to start it. I've just got a 5 litre fuel drum here with some 95 in it. And I'm just running a clear hose, not a fuel hose, but it's good for this because I can see whether the fuel pump's working properly. So I'm running that into the fuel pump. As you can see, that's not the original fuel pump, but it does work. So I'm at the stage now where I turn the key on and it's pumping fuel to the all the way to the fuel pump, at least. So I know that part's right to go. Just got a battery here. I decided instead of putting it in the actual tray, I've got it here just in case I need to quickly disconnect something electrical. So I've just got that on jumper leads running here, and I've just got this piece of marine carpet sitting here just so these don't earth out. So I've got the power here so that doesn't spark on the aluminium wing or fender. And just got to remember with the old ones that it's positive earth. You can tell the earth because it's going to the engine, because both leads are black. So positive to the earth, negative to your power. Besides that, I'm pretty much ready to try and crank start it, and fingers crossed. Now, just before I do try and crank start it, just something with these crank handles is that this piece here actually comes all the way off, and it's a really good idea to keep these greased up because quite often the grease is dry and these get stuck on there, and that's why it gets hard to turn it over with your hand, or your hand gets caught, because the idea of this is this spins on that shaft there. So I've already greased this one up prior. But it's something that if you're going to use a crank handle to start your Land Rovers with, you do need to keep checking that, because it doesn't take long and you need to put a bit more on. Now I just need to go turn the key on so the fuel pump's working, and fingers crossed. As I said, it's been 30 years since it's been started. Sounds alright. I've just turned it over by hand a few times without the fuel pump and electrics all connected. It sounds alright, so we'll see how we go. What I might do is disconnect the fuel pump. In case it's flooded. That sounded alright. Right, connect the fuel back up. Not gonna lie, I kinda wish this starter motor worked now. Make life a bit easier. Well, that was good. Guess we'll try and connect the fuel back up. I'd say it was flooded before. Alright, this one should be a bit easier.